Hey, everybody, get ready. This is the American Car Classics radio program.
Planet Vero Studio is powered by the Nolan Group of RE/MAX Associated Realty. MyNextHomeFinder.com.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for joining in, as you always do, and we always say thank you. I am Kenny Schofield. I am, as always, with Mike Carano, Steve Charbruno, and a special guest today, James Redman.
Thank you very much for having me, Kenny.
We have James's dad, Brian Redman, a more special guest on the telephone.
Extra guest.
Good afternoon, today. Brian.
Good afternoon, Kenny.
Thank you so much for joining us. I got James and Brian you all together today because we wanted to talk a little bit about the Chattanooga Motor Car Festival. Brian, you don't get to hear our weekly banter that we do. James is on Facebook with us, so he sees some of it. But Steve and I get to go with Todd Byron, who I'm sure you will still recognize from working on Byron DeForest stuff. We go up each year with this, and this, I guess, being only the second year. We had such a great time the first year. We got to all meet you, sit with you, talk with you. Just became enamored with so much love and stories from all of the people there. We're going to go back and make this an annual stop. So how have you been doing for the last year and a half, 2 years almost?
Well, not travelled very much as we used to travel frequently to Goodwood twice a year and to other events in Europe. And of course, we haven't done any of those now for 18 months.
Yeah. 2 years ago, you went on a vacation to the Bahamas. That was memorable in itself, wasn't it?
It was. We were stuck right in the middle of Hurricane Dorian, the worst hurricane to ever hit the Bahamas. The damage was immense, and my wife Marion and I were stuck for 4 days and nights on an island with nobody else there. And plus, she fell into a water storage tank and broke 3 ribs and punctured a lung. So, yeah.
James was telling me about that she still suffers a little bit from that, and we're sorry to hear that, but glad that everybody else has recovered through that. Kind of a crazy time.
Yeah, it was. It was crazy. Anyway, oh well.
So the Chattanooga Motor Car Festival, this is something that happens now. This is going to be the second annual, although it is the third year since the inception. And when we went out there, we met David Hobbs. We met you. Like I said, we got to watch you all on the stage, do some interviewing, and I learned quite a few things about you that were that I didn't know a lot about. When you were stuck out after the hurricane, James, we were able to keep touch because he was in touch with you after a couple of days, but we learned that you were okay and all that through James's post and all that. So
Kenny, it was actually more than a few days. I didn't hear from them from when the storm was forecast to hit the island until they were sitting in the parking lot at Costco. They called me. I was having lunch at Applebee's. My mother called me and said, and I burst into tears pretty much because we knew they were still alive.
Right.
And I said, "What are you doing there?" He said, "Oh, well, your dad went to get his hearing aids cleaned. They were full of salt water."
If that's the worst of it, with the ribs and all, that's awesome. Yep. So, right. So, Brian, to go back real quick for anybody that might be crazy enough to not really know much about you or anything else, one of the things that intrigued me with you was, I believe part of the story I heard was there was a decision you had to make one year whether you were racing for Enzo Ferrari or Ferdinand Porsche. You had great storied career. I think that I knew that you won Sebring down here, the 12 Hours of Sebring twice. Is that right?
Yeah, Sebring twice and Daytona 3 or 4 times. Yeah,
3 or 4 times. Yeah, that's nuts. I was saying to James before the show started, it was amazing to me, all the people we met up in Chattanooga, how many of them have a tie-in here to Florida, and how big of a racing city Vero Beach really is. It's very cool. You make your home here. Many others do as well. So that's very cool.
Yeah, I was just saying to Kenny, I first saw that Todd Byron was looking after Byron DeForest cars, Byron being the founder and pretty much the head honcho of the Chattanooga event. I saw Byron's race car there in Todd Byron's shop, which
Yeah,
is a bit of a tongue twister. Only a few blocks away from where I live in McCansh Park.
Yeah. Sorry about that. We're gonna keep dialing somebody. So yeah, it is funny how it all ties in, and that I got to meet Todd through doing car show stuff here local with Mike Carani.
Right.
We were out under the Oaks, and I knew his name and wanted to get into a little bit where we were, and got to meet him through that. And Steve, I moved into your neighborhood. Yeah, and Mike, you happened to come across a car show that I was doing, so it's all just great how it's come together. But it's all very tight now. And Brian, you are coming back to Chattanooga this year, correct?
Yes, I sincerely hope so. One never knows these days, but yes.
What is your involvement this year?
Well, in 2019, I was what they call the Grand Marshal. Not quite sure what that meant, but something has changed a little bit. I'm going back as some Pooh Bar name. I don't know what it is, to be quite honest. But I'll be doing the usual shaking hands, talking, yeah.
Well, I do love that. We are going back as friends of the place just because it was so spectacular. One thing that we'll touch base on real quick is we lost Jim Pace. Jim Pace was somebody that Steve and I here at the show got to know at Chattanooga quite well. We then went over to the 24-hour historic race in Daytona and got to hang with him then for 24 hours. I guess it was through that, and just what a special man, what a special character. And now I understand that the new race at Chattanooga this year, instead of being a time trial race, there's an actual race, and they have gone ahead and named the course after Jim Pace, and it is the
Pace Grand Prix at the Bend, I believe. Is
at
the
the
name
Bend,
of it?
Grand Prix at the Bend. That's right. Mm-hmm. Very, very cool. I appreciate all that very much too. Well, I don't know.
Are any of you guys participating in the races?
I won't actually be there, unfortunately. This spring, I got a job working for Birtle Racing School. So, believe it or not, I'm instructing people how to drive racing cars.
Really?
Which is fun. It's actually a great job because you get to see people. Some of them have never driven a stick shift, and they get into an open wheel formula car and get to play around the track. So it's great seeing people learn, progress, and have a blast.
And where are they located, Adam?
Right now, we're at Palm Beach International Raceway, but also at Pocono Speedway in Pennsylvania, Virginia International Raceway, New Jersey Motorsports Park, and did I say Virginia International Raceway?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow. And that is not the Target 66.
Nope. Targa 66 is an event I do with my father. Next year will be our 31st year at Palm Beach International Raceway.
Wow, amazing. And tell me a little bit real quick.
It's basically kind of a high-end track day. It started 31 years ago, because people had these nice cars, very high-end racing cars, and didn't want to go historic racing with them, even 30 years ago. So we give them a venue to get out on the track with like-minded people, play with the cars, socialize, have good food. It's just a fun event. I know Todd Byron's been down a couple of times, and Byron DeFore makes him drive, which he doesn't seem too happy about.
Right. Well, Todd's a big, lanky kind of guy, and most of the cars are not built for that type of body.
Yeah, he's pretty good at pushing the right pedal, but I think on the little BMW they were driving over the weekend, they ended up flat spotting 4 or 5 front tires.
Something about the closeness of the clutch pedal to the brake pedal.
I think whoever was instructing them just said push the pedal as hard as you can and didn't tell them to let off when it starts smoking.
Let up a little bit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not the greatest in the world for it. So this year, Brian out at Chattanooga. I know that Corky Coker is going to be back. He is going to be the Grand Marshal from what I understand this year.
That's correct, yes. He's got I only met him for the first time in 2019 and went round his incredible collection. He has a museum that the public can go to.
Yeah.
And he specializes in, the very old cars, and a really fantastic collection of cars.
Yeah, he does, and I know that Byron is building a stable of his own cars as well. He's been on a buying frenzy, from what I understand. Steve, you went with Ron over to an auction at Mecum earlier this year, and he had to was on the phone with Byron trying to get a couple hot cars.
Yeah. He was trying to get more. We only got one, but he wanted a couple more. So yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah, right. Never stopping. Yeah, so the raceway, when we were down, when we were up in Chattanooga, Brian, we went off to that time trial, and like I said, I guess the racing on the Riverside is now gone. They are just doing all this track, but this track encompasses it's all in town. This is all in town. They're doing a loop and they're cutting off. Have you been up, Brian? Have you seen the racetrack?
I have, but this is like 2 months ago, and it's in its very basic form. It runs partially through a commercial area, although it's very nice with trees on one side, and then it turns and comes down a main street, really a divided highway. It's got half of the divided highway. Okay. Very attractive, very close to the downtown area, and within walking distance of the main hotels. 2 miles around, and it's going to be quite a challenge.
Very cool. We're excited about it. We know that this time they've got the Concourse d'Elegance going on. They've got a lot of local cars, I guess we'd say, instead of stuff from overseas, over the pond and all that, because of all the restrictions that are going on. The first year they had so much Euro interest, but I believe this year it's going to be a lot more nation-based.
Yeah.
But the outcome for it, I think the turnout is bigger than it was the first year.
I would imagine so, yeah. I mean, it was fantastic. As you said, the quality and the variety, and there'll be variety again. And it's very cool because the concourse is based around the West End, which is Byron's Hotel, but it's also several blocks around there. They have wonderful parties, street parties at night. And if you do go to visit, you don't even need a car. You can Uber from the airport.
Everywhere.
There are electric shuttles that run all around downtown. It's an incredible event, and it's a great event to showcase Chattanooga, which is gig city, get in and go. It's got the highest speed internet in North America.
Right.
Okay. That's good. It's gig city. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Which they kind of paraphrased it and gave it get in and go to go along with the motoring festival.
Very cool. And Byron has really taken this town. I mean, he's revamping Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Yep, along with his brother, they've done an amazing job. It was my first time there 2 years ago, and I was extremely impressed, not just by the event, but the city, the people, the friendliness, everything.
And Chattanooga Hospital, CHA, this is the neuroscience center that is the benefactor of all this going on this year. 2 years ago it was the Erlinger Society, and this year it is the neuroscience center at CHA. So this is all there to support them, which they are big in: Alzheimer's, dementia, and a lot of other neurological ailments that go on through our lives. So, Brian, we're going to get ready to cut off to a break. I want to say thank you very much for coming in. James, I do appreciate you coming in as well and helping me get through that first segment and learning a little bit about the Chattanooga Motor Car Festival, okay?
Thank you very much. It was nice to meet everybody. I think I might start listening to this show now.
Thank you, guys.
Brian, we look forward to seeing you there when we're there, okay? We do appreciate you coming on the phone.
Okay, thanks, Kenny. Enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. This is American Car Classics. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Dolphin Auto is a family-owned and operated automotive repair shop, servicing all makes and models. Proudly located at 6010 South US Highway 1 in Grant. From current to classic, Dolphin Auto is the place to go. Established in 2012, we now offer full custom exhaust work, collision repairs, and custom paint for your ride. Call today for your free estimate. From current to classic, just call 321-984-8322. Dolphin Auto is the place to go.
Riverside Theater presents Live in the Loop and the Comedy Zone. Live in the Loop Outdoor Grill and Bar offers outdoor dining with live music plus indoor dining with comedy and the Wax Lax this weekend. Strict CDC and state guidelines will be followed, including reduced public capacity and face mask use. Cleanliness and hygiene safety have been reinforced. Enjoy a thrilling evening with live music, uproarious adult stand-up comedy, and dining at Riverside Theater. For details and to obtain tickets, visit riversidetheater.com.
Is owning a home your goal? With the rising cost of rent, you could be saving a lot of money by owning your own home. At Caliber Home Loans, we can help make home ownership a reality. Meet with us for a free consultation and get on the right path to buy the home of your dreams. For Caliber, home loans is all we do. We use local appraisers and offer a variety of loan options to fit your lifestyle and budget. Call us today, 844-GO-CALIBER, license number CHL15622, CaliberHomeLoansTreasureCoast.com.
Visit fellowship-trained Dr. Sarah Kadadaday for the latest in glaucoma treatment and custom cataract surgery at New Vision Eye Center. Dr. Kadadaday received her fellowship training at Yale University and is board certified by the American Board of Ophthalmology. Call for your consultation at 772-257-8700 or visit newvisioneyecenter.com. World-class eye care on the Treasure Coast. That's New Vision Eye Center.
Welcome back, and thank you for sticking with us. I'm Kenny, this is Mike, and I'm with Steve and Jesse, and this is the American Car Classics.
I forgot to ask you, where did that introduction come from? That was like in the beginning.
I ran in here.
You ran in here,
did a little
quick intro?
Quick promo cut.
Wow.
Yeah. Was that all right?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah,
I was just surprised. I wasn't, expecting it.
Yeah, well, people get done with the commercial and whatever. I thought, come in, maybe hear a little something. They're like, oh, start early, and then get them on that music,
Right, gotcha.
Yeah, we got shafted. We got no part of it. His head's getting too big already.
I know. He's
punch him in the throat and bring him down.
He's the head man in charge now.
Anybody wants to listen. I'm not gonna give.
You got tech talk today?
I do have a question. I do have one.
Okay. One?
Yeah.
He sucks at this.
No, I'm trying to get. Look, this is a lot.
You got news? He's fired. Absolutely sucks.
I do have some news.
You got some news?
No, what we're talking about is that we've missed Keith for the last 6 weeks now.
Yeah, 6 weeks now.
He's been going through something that Mike is familiar with. And I'm familiar with. It's a little bit of back pain and stuff, and he's still trying to work and do. A couple days ago, he came by the shop where his truck was not doing so well. So he's got a Dolphin Auto loaner car, and his truck is still...
Dolphin Auto loaner car?
It's right.
Okay, nice. I didn't know Dolphin Auto had loaner cars.
We do.
He's got the carpet cleaner on the roof.
No.
Was it a Yugo? Is he driving a Yugo?
No, it's a Hyundai, man. Cruise, tilt,
nice.
everything.
Yeah. You might not get that back.
There's nowhere for a trailer hitch on the back
Can you put carpet cleaning stuff in the back of that?
But apparently he has a friend named Steve with a pickup truck, because they came by and loaded Steve's truck up with that stuff. So, yeah, a little sketchy on that. And all of a sudden Keith told me, don't hurry, no big rush. Yeah, because he's got my car.
Right.
It's good on gas. He's working. You got to worry about the front wheel falling off.
Yeah.
He was destined to come back last week, and then he had a family situation happen, which we are sorry about.
Yeah.
And then this week his back is just a little bit too sore, but he's working through that and he came to our shop and used the thing that we have called a spinalator that we help people out with here along the way. And I've invited Mike to come down and get on there and roll himself around Letitia style and see if he can feel a little bit better too. And so anyway, with the American Car Classics, and we're in our 8th full year and doing all this, I've spoken to Keith and said, look, I was kind of thrust into this chair, and I haven't had a lot of time to set up and plan and do, and I honestly haven't. In order to do the show, you got to sit down in front of a computer and look up some stuff.
And research, yeah.
You have to sit down in front of Facebook and go through the questions that have come in and sort out what they meant or contact back with them.
Right there. It's over. You got to sit down and focus.
No. Listen.
Over.
No, I can do that. But what we don't have to worry about is that Tiana does it better than I do.
See, Ken's coming out now.
But now Ken Lynch, our technician who was in the show a couple weeks ago, he's been out and he's got a bad kidney stone, and he's hurt, dropped. So he's down. I mean, he was in the hospital 337 two mornings ago. Man, what do you say they're putting a stent in?
Right.
I don't want to talk more about that.
So that means with a guy down, that means you're spending more time at your shop instead of everybody else's shop.
I went to Todd's today for the first time in a week.
Okay. Did they miss you, or they were like?
They were all like, well, I'm dressed a little bit different because we had James in, and I wanted to be all right. So I walked in and got that, hey, Playboy, something, what's going on? Did you buy something? What do you, and I said, no, nothing new.
Right.
I just wore the shirt that I wore out to dinner last night. We went to Makoto's. Makoto's, great food. If you have Japanese steakhouse, God, go.
Haven't been there in years.
Yeah, I'm getting addicted to it. I'm doing like twice a month now or something. We said we're going to just do it once a month, but it's getting... So anyway, back to the car show.
Right.
So Keith's been gone. So I came in and I sat here, and that's what it says on one of my dry erase boards, which we've got about 4 of them on every one.
It's the focus.
It says, be focused.
Okay.
Not too focused, but let's already think that you are, and just maintain being focused.
All right. So Keith is scaling back a little bit.
Keith is scaling back a little bit, and I've tried to look. I am jazzed about this. I love this. This is my look, man. My life sucks. What do you say? This is the happiest time of my week.
Man, oh man!
I don't have peacocks to chase. You got peacocks running around, Steve. I don't have a business partner that is a hard person to get along with.
Yeah.
I go to Todd's, I hang out. That's my fun time, but that's on the way here.
Okay.
I don't ever get to see you, Mike, anymore. You used to come by the shop and hang and doing it and stuff, and I don't see you. And I'm not hosting a show this year. We've got so much going on, and rolling into our 10th year. Man, we've upped our stuff, and things are really moving along well now.
And you got a lot of stuff there.
We got a lot of stuff there. We're moving it in and out, and we're doing it. But now that I've got an assembly line going at Dolphin Auto there on this restoration stuff. There is, you skip a beat with a product that can't come in and do a paint product. We couldn't get tint for our Hugger Orange. We couldn't make a paint in a day and a half. So I had a guy out there. He's out there and taking the chrome off the C20 because, I got to keep them going and doing. But you anticipate that I'm going to be ready for this. I'm ready to cut all my jams and box the doors and do all. And now you're okay. Well, we've got rain. We got blessed for a day or two, but you can't just shove everything outside and bring something else in to start tearing it down.
Yeah. It jams you up when you plan something out and something doesn't come in.
Yeah.
Well, that's the biggest problem that both you guys have, right? Getting parts.
Yeah.
Everything is parts.
Everything.
Parts just aren't coming in.
Yeah.
I'm sure Todd is having the same problem with paint and stuff.
Absolutely.
Right?
Now, Todd, so a lot of stuff with him is that he is, the collision center side of Todd, which is the busiest part right now. That's where his, all the focus has been going for the last 2 years. His is all new stuff. So if they've just made the car, they probably got a spare part for it.
Yeah.
But where we're doing, finding the Nova rear leaf spring bushings for a monoleaf spring.
Right.
Then this is not right there. It's 3 to 5 days. And the spindles were supposed to be in 2 or 3 days ago for the Nova, where they're not around. They came in, we got a kit. The kit's, it's in Okaloosa, something, North Florida. Well, it's been there for 2 days.
Right.
We had 4 rims for a lifted GMC that we did in 2020. They're lost in transit.
They just...
Lost in transit.
The best part is like you look up something online, it says in stock, you order it, and then 2 days later you get an email, oh, sorry, it's out of stock, it's going to be 4 to 6 weeks. And then they don't want to give you your money back.
Right.
I'm fighting with Eckler's right now. Eckler's billed me on July 20th for the seat cushions and all that stuff for the black 69.
Right.
And they say I got them. I'm like, show me, because I don't have them.
Yeah.
And there's a couple other parts I'm missing. And I sat yesterday while my mom was getting her eye surgery done and all that stuff for 2 hours and 56 minutes on the phone with Eckler's.
Right.
Never got a single person on the phone.
Yeah, but Eckler's isn't really the person that you're getting the parts from. You're getting them from what, Rick's Camaros? Is that where they get their stuff from?
But they all comes from Eckler's because that's who builds them.
I know, but they don't have, it's not like Classic Industries where they have a huge warehouse and take the parts off.
Right.
Eckler's is more of a,
a sub-store.
Sort of like an Amazon.
Depot,
like an Amazon.
Yeah, they get stuff from Max and all that stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's like, don't bill me for something and tell me, and then you look online, it says they're in stock.
Right.
But I spent 3 hours yesterday on hold, and they never came on the phone.
I don't think they can update all their websites that fast because the product has gone and they're all scrambling to get more. And when they get it in, they'd rather just leave it up, hoping that you keep the order going. We have found money back in our bank and then looked and saw the tracking number was gone. And it's like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I had a problem with Eastwood. It was the same way. I ordered stuff from Eastwood, and they just, we don't have it.
They tell you, 3 to 5 days for reply on your email. July 20th is way longer than that, and I've emailed 3 times.
Yeah.
That's the problem, with all this stuff. It's just, trying to get parts. You got to either try to get OEM from a guy online, maybe, especially with Nova.
Right.
The guys that I deal with Novas are just absolutely anything you need, they could get.
Well,
Nova Junkies.
They'll get
anything.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I need those rear shackle bushings.
Yeah, I'm sure they have them.
Yeah, and we'll talk about Lucy and the little Nova that we're doing. The little projects that going on. It's good, man.
It's going good.
You're going to be. I think with the progress we've. We'll talk more when we.
Yeah, we got to take a hard break. We got that long news break coming up. So we'll be right back.
Yeah.